Now that we've completed page 38 in playing around and learning some of these steering blocks, how to make it go forwards and backwards and turn a little bit to the right and a lot to the right, we're going to go on to our discovery. And today you'll need to complete discovery number 1 and discovery number 2 on your on page 39. So discovery number 1, it says, now that you've learned some important information about the move steering block, you're ready to experiment with it. The goal in this discovery is to create a program that makes the robot move slowly at first and then accelerate. To begin, place 10 move steering blocks on the programming canvas and configure the first 2 as shown in figure 4-8. Here's the first 2 blocks that you have here. We could make this larger if you would like. All right, so we show that it's going straight, power of 10, and then the second block is it's going straight, power of 20. Remember to add new program for each discovery and save it when you're done. So we'll show you a video in a second of how to do this. All right, configure the third one in the same way, but set the motor power to 30, incrementing by 10 for each block until you've reached the motor's maximum speed. The blocks are now in 0 n for seconds mode. Once you've tested your program, change all 10 blocks to on for rotation mode with rotation set to 1 and run the program again. Which program takes longer to run? Can you explain the difference? Can you explain the different behaviors? All right, so there's a couple questions you'll need to answer. And what we have here is you could write your answers right down here on your OneNote to these 2 questions. All right, so this is the first block 1, 2, and then it tells you to set the third block to a power setting of 30. So there's 10, 20, 30. So you're going to set that up for 10 blocks. So remember, this is 1 block, that's 2 block, you add a third block, you set it all the way up for 10 blocks. And then you're going to answer these questions using OneNote, just writing your answers down here in this section. And then you're going to show me your work on your robot in the class, so I can mark you off. All right, so discovery number 2 is you're going to do today is precise turns. Can you get your robot to make a 90-degree turn in place? Create a new program with 1 move steering block configured in on for degrees mode as shown in figure 4-9. So here's 4-9, and we have right here we have on degrees. So before we were using here they showed time for 1, and then they want you to change it to rotations for 1, and here you have on degrees. All right, so create a new program as shown in figure 4-9. Make sure the steering slider is all the way to the right, which you see right here, as in the move program. How many degrees should the wheel turn for the robot to make an accurate 90-degree turn? So you're gonna write that down right here, how many degrees you used to make an accurate. Begin by setting the degrees to 275. If that's not enough, try 280, 285, and so on, running the program each time to see whether the robot makes the required turn. Once you find the right value to make a 90-degree turn, figure out which value you will need to get the robot to make a 180-degree turn. So you're going to write your answer here for this one. So there's 2 things we're doing. First thing, you're going to write down the degrees you had on your robot to make a 90-degree turn, and then right here you're going to write down the number of degrees that you put in here in the settings to have your robot do a 180-degree turn. You're going to write those answers on OneNote on your folder where this is. All right, so remember OneNote. I'm going to open OneNote here, and I'm going to go to Robotics, And in the handouts, here we go. So I'm going to come down here to our discovery. And you're going to click on this. Come down. And you're going to, let's go to draw. Do this. And you're going to write, maybe it's 678 degrees. Maybe that's what it is. You're going to write down whatever your answers are right there. And 400 degrees. Those are not the correct answers, but possibly they are. But you're going to write your answers right there. You can put it off to the side if you wanted. All right, you're going to write those answers right there that you had for these two. And then we have 2 questions here. You're going to write your answers right in here for those two. So here's a video. So if you go to our topics page, so let's do that. For robotics. And you go to our video tutorials. All right, as I showed you, everything from this chapter 4 is in this first video, lesson 1 moving forward. And you're going to want to start at the 24-minute, 18-second mark. And this is
so now that you've explored different ways you can change these parameters. We're going to be given a discovery. So let's close this, and we can go ahead and file, new project, program. And what we want to do is we have our discovery number 1. So file, save project as discovery 1. And this one's an acceleration program. And we need to place 10 of these move steers in a row. Something I'm going to show you here is we can do things, we can close that so that we can bring these over. If you continue to pull that over, put that in there. Something else we can do is you can click on this right here, see that little lock, and I can pull it, and then I can plug it in right there. So what that does is that puts these together and allows me to keep a palette open that I can look at. And I can continue to plug these in until we get 10. Alright, so we need 10 blocks, all going the same direction, all doing one rotation. But what you're going to do is you're going to change the power of the first one to 10, and then make the second one 20. And you're going to go through to change all of these powers so that you can get your robot to accelerate gradually across. And that will be discovery number 1. So go ahead and do that, and then download it when you complete it. Download it to your robot, and then go ahead and run it. So for discovery 1, we had to use 10 of these action blocks, the move steering action blocks. And we started gradually at a power of 10, and then 20, and then we had to increase it so that it was at a steady acceleration. So if you can go ahead and push the square, it starts slow, and then each time it gets a little more power in the wheels. It goes faster and faster.
No, no, no!
Yep. So we got it. So that was okay. For discovery number 2, we're going to use just one steering block to have our robot make a 90-degree turn. And how we're going to check that is we're going to use on degrees. We're going to do the slider has to be over 100%. And then for the degrees, they want us to start with 275 degrees, and we want to check that and see how many degrees the rotation the robot will make for that 275 degrees. And what we're going to do is we're going to find what number we should put in here that will make our robot create a 90-degree turn. Now once we do that, once the robot is able to create a 90-degree turn, we're going to use all of this information and change the degrees again to make the robot have a 180-degree turn, and then a 270-degree turn, and then a 360-degree turn, or a full circle. So that's discovery 2. You're going to first make the robot turn only 90 degrees, then you're going to have it adjusted so that it'll turn 180 degrees, and then 270 degrees, and then finally 360 degrees. So that's discovery number 2. Go ahead, determine those numbers, and run your program, and then after that you can go on to discovery number 3. For discovery number 2, the first thing we wanted to do was we wanted to turn just 90 degrees. So this is 0, and this is 90, and this is 180, and this is 270, and then that's 360 all the way back. So if we push this, it turns 90 degrees, and then once we discovered what we had to do to program it for 90 degrees, then we wanted to program it so that it would turn all the way around. So watch. So then it turns 180 degrees all the way around the circle. And then what you have to do is you have to get it to go 270 and then 360.
Okay, so once you completed discovery number 1 and 2, and remember now it says you have 90 degrees and 180 degrees, and you can try 270 degrees and 360 degrees also, and put those answers right here. Now that you have these programs, so I'll show you what we need to do is you need to save your program. So let's go through this again. Open up the Lego Mindstorm EV3 software. We want a new project, and we want a program, and we want to open that. And we're going to use our move steering blocks that we have here. And what we're going to do once we save this, we're going to for the first one, we're going to hit File, Save As, put your name, for Discovery 1, we'll use Discovery 1. All right, so we'll want to save that in the Documents folder on your laptop. So go ahead, save that. And then we're going to go to our Teams. And we want the teams we're in, our files, and then we'll have a new folder. Discovery 1, folder Discovery 2. All right, so we're going to upload, if you're doing remote learning, you're going to upload from Documents. Let's see what we got here. Your number 1, Discovery number 1 into the folder for Discovery number 1. And you're going to upload Discovery number 2 for your folder for Discovery number 2. So if you're remote learning, go ahead and upload those. We see Sean uploaded his yesterday from home for the first program we had. All right, so go ahead and upload your programs if you're remote learning, and then I'll be able to run them on the robots here, and then we'll see if your programs work successfully.